Hi, I'm David Foster, your guest host on Good Rockin' Tonight. Tonight, Corey Hart, the Thompson Twins, Northern Lights, Platinum Blonde, Roger Daltrey, Gina Vanelli, and yours truly, David Foster. Interviews with John Parr and Dire Straits. The Tears for Fears trivia winners and the top 20 singles and albums, all that and much, much more on Good Rockin' Tonight. Okay, I'm not going to presume that you all know who I am, so let me just run down a few basic facts about myself. I'm Canadian, I'm from Victoria, British Columbia, and I now live in Los Angeles. I started out with a band called Skylark. They were a local Vancouver band, and as a piano player after that, I did countless sessions in LA, which led to writing and finally producing records for people like Boss Skaggs, Alice Cooper, Fee Waybill of the Tubes, Chicago, the Payolas, Earth, Wind & Fire, and Northern Lights. And yes, there is a certain frustration at being so well known, and yet I'm kind of unknown, too. I mean, nobody knows this face. Gretzky, take Gretzky, for instance. They all know what he looks like. They mobbed this guy. Even Tiger Williams, with a face that could bite wallpaper, they know him. I mean, it's unbelievable. I think this face could work. I want all you girls out there to write in, tell me what you think. No, don't tell me what you think. Lie to me. Tell me, you know, hype me, okay? But, Mom, not you. I don't need you to write in, okay?
The situation with David Foster came about because he'd heard Naughty Naughty on the radio, and apparently had wanted to work with me from that day. And when he got the music supervisor's job on the film, he was called to do about 6 collaborations on the album, and he just called me up and said, would you like to do a song? So I came over to LA to find a very tired David Foster who'd had a deadline of 8 weeks reduced to 2 weeks to deliver all the music. So David said to me, look, John, I'm sorry, but we're not going to be able to write a song together. How about doing one of these unfinished ones or something? And I was very disappointed because I'd been an admirer of his for a long time, and my real aim was to work with him on a writing level. So I said, well, look, let me just play around a few ideas, see if I can throw a rope down to you, and if you like one, pull it down and we'll do it. And it started like that, and we wrote a couple of things on the Thursday. And Friday we wrote another song which isn't in the movie, but I think's a big hit. And the interesting thing about Foster, the insight into why he's so great is, although I felt we'd written a perfectly good song for the film, he still kept saying, well, no, we'll just try again, and we'll put that to one side and go and see if we can write another one. As tired as he was. And the last thing we wrote was St. Elmo's Fire. It was written between 2 and 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon. And it was finished at 10 o'clock on Saturday. It was an amazing thing. The inspiration for the lyric, as everybody knows in Vancouver, I'm sure, came directly from Rick Hansen. And the song lyric is, although it aligns perfectly with the movie and the sentiment of the movie, my total inspiration for that lyric was really Rick's incredible journey around the world.
Well, I always wanted to have what I call movie music. I mean, I love, you know, rock scores and songs and movies and all of that, but, you know, not only had I not been in a movie where that had been done well, but I never was really in a movie, other than The Outsiders, that had movie music, you know? And so when I heard David's theme he wrote for St. Elmo's Fire, I mean, I was blown away, number one, because it was so moving just as a song, but it was movie music, the kind of music I've always wanted to have in one of my movies. And I remember the first time hearing it. I cried hearing it, and it still gets to me. It's a wonderful score, and you know, not only though did he do that, but he wrote my sax, the song that I play on my sax. He wrote, Phil. He wrote all the stuff.
Now, also on the St. Elmo's Fire album is my solo single of the Love Theme, the song that Rob was talking about. It's climbing its way up the charts. It's 32 with a bullet right now, and because of that, I get to star in my first video, and it's exciting. And the great news is that I get the girl. So for the first time, and by the way, check out the sax player in this video. First time, anytime, anywhere, Here's the love theme from St. Elmo's Fire world premiere. The Tears Are Not Enough 90-minute documentary premiered last Wednesday in Toronto and then across the country. As you know, Tears Are Not Enough started with a phone call from producer Quincy Jones to myself asking to get Canadian singers and stars together ASAP to record a record that would make money for famine relief in Africa. I contacted Bruce Allen, who you saw on the show last week. Everything rolled together in Toronto Sunday, February the 10th, 1985. It was a great day. The clip you're about to see is just 8 minutes of a 90-minute movie, which is funny, it's whimsical, it's sad, it's happy, it has everything, something for everybody. The highlight of the preview night for me was giving the relief agencies almost $2 million of Northern Lights funds. And that's really the point of the whole thing. And along with joint funding, the total for the evening was $3.5 million. That's real money for real people.
Tears are not enough! Yeah!
Anne-Marie's in, Adams. Anne-Marie's in. Yeah. Neil Young's in, and Joni Mitchell, too. See, Adams? See? Everybody's coming in.
Perfect, but one more. Oh, that doesn't make sense. Here's Stevie Ray Vaughan with his question.
All right, I've got a little trivia question for you. First of all, you'll be winning this beautiful 1971 Stratocaster from Richard's Rare Guitars, West Coast #1 rock shop. Could you name the 3 well-known guitar legends named King?
Nice jacket, Stevie. Okay, we were flooded with correct answers for the Tears for Fears trivia. These guys are so great. Thank you all for writing, and congratulations to all the winners who will receive either autographed posters or albums. Watch for the winners' names, but first, here are Roland and Kurt with the question and answer.
Hello, it's us again. A few weeks ago, we did ask you a question where our video was filmed for the Head Over Heels.
Something wrong with your nose?
Yeah, I'm just scratching it. Why? And I scratched the other side as well. And this is the answer.
The answer was, or is, we did it in Toronto.
Wahoo.
Up until this year, when you thought of Dire Straits, you thought of Mark Knopfler and the Sultans of Swing. From their self-titled debut album of 1978, and I was there in 1978, I saw them live, they were terrific. Here was a different sounding, different thinking group who embraced the soul sounds of the 60s. But Dire Straits really didn't nail down their place in rock until this year's Brothers in Arms, and its #1 single, Money for Nothing, along with that killer video. And although the group has changed personnel, Mark's distinctive vocals and guitar work are still there. But most importantly, his songwriting is still the best thing about Dire Straits. Fred Causey from CBC News did the interview.
I'm wondering, do you see any significance in the fact that British bands are once again dominating the charts in North America?
No, I don't see any significance in that, or no patterns, or nothing of that nature whatsoever. I don't believe in all of this, the British invasion this, or the American this, or the Canadian sound, or any of that. That's all media stuff. But if it happens that there's 3 Canadian bands doing well, people start writing reams and reams of copy about this and that. That's just
keeps the support industries busy.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence.
But don't you think there is kind of a sort of creative fertility in British music right now?
There always has been from Britain, but at the same time there's a tremendous amount of mediocrity coming out of British music, and people shouldn't forget that either. And it's the same, there's a lot of, I've heard an awful lot of amazing, really good Canadian music, a lot of terrible Canadian music as well. And it's the same in Australia, it's the same in America, and it's probably the same in India, if you're into Indian music. And I think that's just the way it is. Little kids are really impressionable. I mean, I grew up watching Hollywood movies, and so did you, and you probably know as well as I do that it's just that it's now inhabits your consciousness. It's colonized it in a way, and it's very difficult to lose that. And it's wrong to assume that people are going to be impervious to that kind of influence, that the people will imitate.
So you accept that responsibility?
Yeah, I accept responsibility. Not only that, I mean, I'll accept responsibility for what I write. I'll accept responsibility for what I do on the stage. Or you have to. I mean, I think that's probably what being a person is, isn't it? I came to write the song "Money for Nothing" by going into a store. It's like a store that sold all kinds of electronic stuff, you know, like fridges, and it had a kitchen display in the front window, and it had a wall of TV sets at the back. And I went inside, and there were some guys in there who worked in there talking. All these TV sets were tuned to MTV, and there was a couple of guys in there, one guy in particular talking about all the acts who were coming on. And that's it. It was just a conversation. I had to sneak up behind him. I had to nick up a row, you know, and get up behind some microwaves and spy on him a bit.
You were just taking notes from the things they were saying?
No, I had to go. I didn't have any paper and pens. I had to go back up to the custom kitchen display bit at the front and ask for a pen and a bit of paper. And I sat down in the window in the display unit and started writing the song in the window.
Now, these were working men?
Yeah.
The character, do you have a name for him?
Woodenheads.
Clarence Woodenhead?
Yeah, Clarence Woodenhead would be a good name, actually.
Do you agree with that philosophy in any way?
No.
Expressed in the song?
No, not in its entirety, of course, no. I mean, he was a prejudiced, hard hat mentality, you know. But some of the things he was saying, obviously, there's a bit in all of us which agrees with him too. I know that. By and large, I think that the best film of music is just film of music being played. Man, most videos don't make it at all. Most of our videos I just don't like at all. And I never have liked them, really. Except Money for Nothing is good because it somehow manages to have its own life, its own integrity, you know, its own thing. And it's very difficult to do that with a video because usually it's telling the same story as the song, which is no good because you're just saying something twice, or it's telling a completely different story, which is no good either because it's not the story that the song was supposed to be telling. So, but in this case, it works. It just works. It has its own world. You know, it does that by animation, partly.
They said I got 30 seconds to tell you what I'm doing in the next year of my life. Here it is. Just finished writing a song, or producing a song for Barbra Streisand called Somewhere. It's going to be her first single out soon. Fee Waybill from the Tubes and myself are writing a song for the Money Pit, Steven Spielberg's new movie. You can look for another Chicago album next year. We're starting in November, and we're hoping to give you another 4 or 5 hits from that album. I'm working on my solo album. I hope you'll all go out and buy the Love Theme from St. Elmo's Fire, because then I won't have to produce so many records. I can be an artist, and that's what I love doing. We're going to end tonight's show with the latest video from one of Canada's hottest groups, Platinum Blonde. And we'll have a day in the life of Platinum Blonde special in just a couple of weeks. That's it. Thanks for watching. And hey, have you heard the news? There's been good rockin' tonight.